Our Honorable Minister is giving shawl to our Chief Guest, Mr. Chia Swaminathan sir. Our Honorable Minister felicitating Mr. Swaran Singh with the shawl. As we begin this special occasion, let us invoke positivity, wisdom, and enlightenment with a ceremonial lighting of lamp, a tradition that signifies the dispelling of darkness and the ushering in of knowledge and prosperity. Now I request Thiru K.N. Nehru, Honorable Minister for Municipal Administration, Urban and Water Supply. Justice Chia Swaminathan, Judge of Madras High Court, Thiru Pushpavanam sir, Secretary CPC, and Mr. Thiru Swaran Singh, retired IAS.
கடலுடுத்த நிலமடந்தை கெழிலொழுகும் சீராரும் வதனமென்ன திகழ்பரத கண்டமிதில் தெக்கணமும் அதில் சிறந்த திராவிடனள் திருநாடும் தக்க சிறு பிறை நுதலும் தரித்தனருந் திலகமுமே அத்திலக வாசனை போல் அனைத்துலகும் இன்பமுற எத்திசையும் புகழ் மணக்க இருந்த பெரும் தமிழனங்கே தமிழனங்கே உன் சீரிழமை திரும்பிய அந்த செயல் மறந்து வாழ்த்ததுமே வாழ்த்ததுமே
I invite Ms. Yamini to lead us in the prayers.
பேரன்பு கொண்ட அவர் என்ன சொல்கிறாருன்னா, அமைச்சர் திரு நேரு அவர்களை வரவேற்பதற்கு அவசியமில்லை, அவரே எல்லாரையும் வரவேற்கணும், அவர் நம்ம ஊர்க்காரர் நம்மடவர் அப்படின்னு சொல்கிறாரு. எல்லாம் வாஸ்தவம் தான், ஆனால் ஃபார்மாலிட்டி இருக்குது. திரு கே நேரு அவர்கள் நம்மளுடைய குழுவிலிருந்து 1989 ஆதரவும் மிகுந்த பாசமும் கொண்டவர். 2001 சில்வர் ஜூபிலி போது என்னை அவரோட 2 நாள் கூடவே வச்சுட்டு முதலமைச்சரை அமைக்கிறதுக்கு ரொம்ப முயற்சி செஞ்சார். நம்ம சிந்தாமணி கேஸ்லாம் நம்ம வழக்கு போட்ட போது முதல் பேட்சை அவர் பணம் கொடுக்க சொல்லிட்டார். அதுக்கப்புறம் வந்த இதெல்லாம் அப்பீல் பண்ணிட்டாங்க. அப்புறம் அவர் நிறைய குழுவுக்கு செஞ்சுருக்கார். அவர் ரொம்ப அவர் இப்போ உயர் பதவியில் வேறு இருக்கார் கட்சியில். அதனால் அவர் நேரம் மிக அரிதானது. அதை அருமையை கருதி நான் நான் அப்புறம் இந்த ஈவெண்ட்டை பற்றி ஒரு 10 மினிட்ஸ் பேசணும், அதை அப்புறம் பேசலான்னு அவருக்காக ஒதுக்கி வச்சுட்டு அவரை பேசுமாறு அழைக்க.
அனைவரையும் சம்பிரதாய முறையில் வரவேற்றிருக்கின்ற நம்முடைய மரியாதைக்கும் அன்பிற்கும் உரிய ஐயா புஷ்பவனம் அவர்களே, இந்த நிகழ்ச்சியில் முன்னதாகவே நான் நீதிபதி என்னை தவறாக எடுத்துக்கொள்ளக்கூடாது, நான் 8:45 ரெடியாக இருந்தேன். நீங்கள் வரீங்கன்னு சொன்னோன்னா முன்னால் வந்துருந்தேன். இவர் தான் என்னை 9:15 வர சொன்னார். எனக்கு நான் 8:45 கரெக்டாக கலெக்டர் நான் 8 மணிலேருந்து ரெடி ஆகிட்டேன் அந்த இதுக்கு. ஏன்னா நீதியரசர் வருகிற போது நம்ம முன்னால் போய் நிற்கணுங்கிறதுக்காக. எனவே வந்திருக்கிற நீதியரசர்களுக்கு என்னுடைய பணிவான வணக்கங்களை தெரிவித்துக் கொள்கிறேன். எங்களுடைய ஐஏஎஸ் அதிகாரி திருச்சி திருச்சியில் மாநகராட்சியினுடைய ஆணையராக பணியாற்றிய சுரன் சிங் அவர்கள், இப்போது இருக்கிற நம்முடைய முதலமைச்சர் அவர்களுக்கு மிகவும் பிடித்தமான ஆஃபீஸர், எந்தவித தவறும் இல்லாமல் தொடர்ந்து செயலாற்றுகிறவர். யார் சொன்னாலும் சட்டம் என்ன சொல்கிறதோ அதை மட்டுமே செய்ய பழக்கப்பட்டிருக்கிற ஐயா சுரன் சிங் அவர்கள், வணக்கத்திற்குரிய மேயர், எங்களதுக்கு மரியாதைக்குரிய மாவட்ட ஆட்சித்தலைவர் அவர்கள், மற்றும் வருகை இருந்திருக்கிற இந்த கன்சியூமர் ப்ரொடக்ஷன் சேர்ந்த வந்திருக்கிற நிர்வாகிகள் அனைவருக்கும் எனது வணக்கத்தை தெரிவித்துக் கொள்கிறேன். 1996ஆம் ஆண்டு நான் உணவு அமைச்சராக இருந்தேன். அப்படி உணவு அமைச்சராக இருந்தபோது கன்சியூமர் ப்ரொடக்ஷன் கவுன்சில் சார்பாக கிட்டத்தட்ட ஒரு 30 நீதிபதிகள் என்னை அழைத்து சென்று நமது ஹைகோர்ட்டில் பேச வச்சாங்க. அவங்களும் பேசினாங்க, வக்கீல்கள்லாம் வந்திருந்தாங்க, பேசினாங்க. இது ஒரு முக்கியமான கன்சியூமர் ப்ரொடக்ஷனுங்கிறது மிக மிக முக்கியமானது. ஒரு பொருளை தயாரிக்கிற போது அந்த பொருளில் என்ன தரம் இருக்கிறது என்று எழுதியிருக்கிறார்கள், அது இருக்கிறதா, அந்த விலை சரியான விலை இருக்கிறதா, சரியான நேரத்தில் அது கொடுக்கப்பட்டிருக்கிறதா, இல்லை காலதாமதமாக கொடுக்கப்பட்டிருக்கிறதா என்பதெல்லாம் அறிந்து இதிலிருந்து எந்த விதமான லாபம் இல்லாமல் மக்கள் நலன் ஒன்றே கருத்திலே கொண்டு இந்த கன்சியூமர் ப்ரொடக்ஷன் நம்முடைய திருச்சியிலே புஷ்பவனம் அவர்கள் நடத்தி கொண்டிருக்கிறார். நாங்கள் 96 வருகிற போது நிறைய பேர் இருந்தாங்க, கன்சியூமர் கவுன்சில் என்று சொல்லி நிறைய பேர் இருந்தாங்க. அவங்க என்ன பண்ணுவாங்க, சில நேரங்களில் சில பேரை தவறாக கூட பேசுவாங்க. ஆனால் அவர்களெல்லாம் இப்போது இல்லை. புஷ்பவனம் அவர்கள் என்றைக்கு ஆரம்பித்தாரோ அன்றையிலிருந்து இன்று வரை எந்த விதமான யாரையும் எந்த நெருக்கடிக்கும் விடாமல், அதே நேரத்தில் அது என்ன சொல்லப்பட்டிருக்கிறதோ அது சரியாக இருக்கிறதா என்பதை கண்டறிந்து மக்களுக்காக பணியாற்றி கொண்டிருக்கிறார் என்பதை நாங்கள் நன்றாக அறிவோம். அதை எடுத்துக்கொண்டிருக்கிற முயற்சி எப்போதுமே சிறப்பாக செய்யக்கூடியவர் புஷ்பவனம் அவர்கள். இப்போது கூட யாராவது ஒரு நீதியரசர் அவர்களை எல்லாம் ஒரு கூட்டத்திற்கு அவள் லகுவாக அழைத்து கொண்டு வந்துவிட முடியாது. புஷ்பவனம் இருக்கிற மரியாதையில் தான் மாண்புமிகு நீதியரசர் அவர்கள் இங்கே வந்திருக்கிறார், சுரன் சிங் அவர்கள் இங்கே வந்திருக்கிறார். நாங்கள் வந்திருப்பதே ஒரு பாவம், ஒருத்தர் இதே வேலையாக இருக்கிறாரு, அவரோட நம்ம போய் இருப்போம்னு நினச்சி தான் வந்திருக்கேன். நானும் அவரை மதிக்க வேண்டும். நான் எங்கள் திருச்சியில் இருக்கிறவங்கள நடத்துகிறவங்கள நாங்கள் மதித்தாதான் மற்றவங்க மதிப்பாங்கிற முறையில் அவர் சொன்ன பேச்சை கேட்டு நான் இங்கே வந்திருக்கிறேன். நீங்கள் நிஜமாக. எனவே நீதியரசர் சொல்கிறேன், ஒரு நேர்மையான ப்ரொடக்ஷன் கவுன்சில் நல்ல முறையில் பணியாற்றி கொண்டிருக்கிறார். இது ஆண்டுதோறும் இந்த நிகழ்ச்சியை நடத்துகிறார். மத்திய அமைச்சரே கூப்பிட்டுருந்தார்கள். மத்திய அமைச்சரையும் எப்போவுமே நல்லதுக்கெல்லாம் கொஞ்சம் அதிகமாக வரவேற்பு இருக்காது. நான் நீதியரசர் ப்ரெஸ்ஸெல்லாம் பூரா காலியாக இருக்காங்க. நான் வேறு ஏதாவது சொன்னோம்னா உடனே எழுதி விடுவாங்க. ப்ரெஸ்ஸெல்லாம் நீ கூட ஏன் நல்லது செய்யும்போது அவங்களாம் எப்போவுமே தவறான செய்திக்கு தான் முன்னுரிமை டக்குன்னு வந்துடுது. அதனால் இங்கே வந்திருக்கிறோம். எனவே நீதியரசர்கள் எங்களை தவறாக எடுத்துக்கொள்ளக்கூடாது. நான் ஏற்கனவே உங்களை விட்டு திருச்சியில் நடத்துகிற நிகழ்ச்சியில் நீங்கள் இருக்கும்போது நான் இருக்க வேண்டும் என்பது அது மரபு. தயவுசெய்து மன்னிக்க வேண்டும். நான் இந்த ஒரு நிகழ்ச்சியில் ஒரு பெரிய நிகழ்ச்சி அதை இங்கே சொல்ல விரும்பவில்லை, அதுக்காக நான் செல்கிறேன். அனைவருக்கும் வணக்கம். புஷ்பவனம் அவர்கள் தொடர்ந்து பணியாற்ற என்றைக்கும் எங்களால் என்ற உதவி உங்களோடு இருப்போம் என்பதை சொல்லி இந்த கவுன்சில் சிறப்பாக செயல்படட்டும் என்று சொல்லி விடைபெறுகிறேன். வணக்கம், நன்றி.
தேங்க்யூ சார். Memento to our chief guest, Mr. K.N. Nehru. I invite Mrs. Vrinda Ramanan to deliver the welcome address.
Honorable dignitaries on and off the dais, members of CPC, guests and members of the press, good morning everybody. The Consumer Protection Council turns 50 today. For the past 50 years, the CPC in Trichy has been working relentlessly to educate the consumer about his rights, to understand the consumer's problems, to channelize the grievances of the consumer to the right officials, and to protect the consumer's interest in general. And all this has been happening under the expert leadership of Shri Professor S. Pushpavanam, our Secretary, and C.T. Selvakumar, our President, and his executive committee team of illustrious members. The activities will be enumerated by our Secretary, Shri S. Pushpavanam, during the course of this seminar. I feel very happy and privileged to be one among the many volunteers who work for this association, and on behalf of the EC committee, I accord a warm welcome To all the honored guests on the dais, we welcome Thiru M. Pradeep Kumar IAS, our district collector, and of course our minister, Honorable Minister for Municipal Administration, Urban and Water Supply. He just left. We welcome him also on behalf of CPC. And then Shri S. Muralidhar, retired Chief Justice, Orissa High Court, Justice G.R. Swaminathan, Madras High Court, Madurai Bench, our dear Shri Swaran Singh Sir, retired IAS, Shri Vivek Harinarayan, ex-IAS, Srimati Pushpa Girimaji, who will be here in the afternoon, senior consumer columnist, Shri Trichy and Shiva, Member of Parliament, who will also be here in the evening, Rajya Sabha, Shri Sudarshan Nachiappan, former Union Minister, and Shri Narayan Tirupati, Vice President, Tamil Nadu BJP. We appreciate that in spite of all your busy schedules, you have made it possible to be with us on this very momentous occasion. We're very happy to welcome the members of CPC, the well-wishers, and the guests who are present today. We also accord a hearty welcome to the press. Once again, we welcome you all. Please stay on through all the programs today. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. To share the purpose and significance of this gathering and to enumerate the contribution of Consumer Protection Council, it is my honor to invite Thiru Pushpanam Sir, Secretary of the Consumer Protection Council, onto the stage, please.
சற்று முன் பேசி சென்ற மாண்புமிகு திரு நேரு அவர்களுக்கும் நமக்காக மதுரையிலிருந்து வந்திருக்கும் ஜஸ்டிஸ் திரு ஜி.ஆர். சுவாமிநாதன் அவர்களையும், சென்னையிலிருந்து வந்திருக்கும் திரு சுரன் சிங் அவர்களையும், இதர வரவிருக்கும் விருந்தினர்களையும் வரவேற்று நம்மளுடைய குழுவினுடைய பயணத்தை பற்றி சுருக்கமாக சொல்ல விரும்புகிறேன். உங்களுடைய பேக்கில் எல்லாம் ஒரு இது போட்டிருக்கோம். ஆக்சுவலி வி ஷல் ஹேவ் இட் ஃபர்ஸ்ட். சுபாஷினி, அந்த புக் ரிலீஸ் அனௌன்ஸ் பண்ணிவிடுங்க.
On this momentous occasion of our 50th year celebration, we will be launching a book. Request all of you to give a big round of applause. 50 years of CPC.
உங்களுடைய பேக்கில் ஒவ்வொருவருக்கும் அந்த புத்தகம் கொடுக்கப்பட்டிருக்கிறது. அதை நீங்கள் மெதுவாக படித்து கொள்ளவும். நாங்கள் முதல்ல 74 ஆரம்பித்தப்போ நான் கொஞ்சம் மணிப்பிரவாளமாக பேசிடுறேன், அது எனக்கு ஈஸியாக இருக்குது. 74 ஆரம்பித்தப்போ கன்சியூமர் கவுன்சிலில் என்னையா பண்ணுவீங்க, ரவுண்டாக டேபிளில் உட்காந்து இட்லி சாப்பிடுவீங்களா அப்படி தான் கேட்டாங்க. ரொம்ப புதுசு, அந்த கன்சியூமர் வார்த்தையும் புதுசு, கவுன்சில் எல்லாமே புதுசு. எல்லோரும் என்கிட்ட ஏன் இப்படி ஆரம்பிச்சிங்க, எது உங்களுக்கு தோணுது, எங்கள் குழுவை கேட்பாங்க. அது அப்போ 74 இந்தியாவில் ஒரு பெரிய மாற்றம் ஏற்பட்டு கொண்டிருந்தது. ஜெயபிரகாஷ் நாராயணன் பெரிய அளவில் புரட்சி ஆரம்பிச்சிருந்தார். விலைவாசி ரொம்ப உயர்ந்தது, எல்லோரும் விலைவாசி உயர்னால கஷ்டப்பட்டு இருந்தாங்க. அப்போ அது ஒரு தேவை ஏற்பட்டது. நம்பர் 1. நம்பர் 2, இங்கிலாந்தின் சமூக சரித்திரம் என்ற ஒரு புத்தகம் ஜி.எம். ட்ரெவ்லின் எழுதினது. அதில் ஹியூமானிட்டேரியன் மூவ்மெண்ட்டுன்னு எப்படி அவங்கெல்லாம் ஹியூமானிட்டேரியன் காசுக்காக எல்லோரும் போராடினாங்க அப்படின்னு ரொம்ப விரிவாக எழுதியிருப்பார். ஆக்சுவலாக அடிமைத்தனத்தை ஒழித்தது, அடிமை வியாபாரம் அடிமைத்தனம் ரெண்டையும் ஒழித்தது வில்லியம் வில்பர்ஃபோர்ஸ் அண்ட் ஜாக்ரே மெக்காலே, நம்ம தாமஸ் பேபிங்டன் மெக்காலோட அப்பா. அவங்க 2 பேரும் ஒரு பெருமுயற்சி செஞ்சாங்க. அதில் சிந்திக்க வேண்டிய விஷயம் என்னென்னா, அந்த அடிமைகள் யாருமே நாங்கள்லாம் அடிமைகள், நீங்கள் எங்களுக்கு விடுதலை வாங்கி தரணும் அப்படின்னு கேட்கவே இல்லை. அவங்களுக்கு தெரியவே தெரியாது, விடுதலை ஆனால் ஒரு உலகம் இருக்குதுன்னு தெரியாது. இவங்க தான் அவங்களுக்கு எஜுகேட் பண்ணி அவேர்னஸ் க்ரியேட் பண்ணி நீங்கள்லாம் இது மாதிரி இருக்கக்கூடாது அப்படின்னு சொல்லி ஸ்லேவ் ட்ரேடை நிறுத்தினாங்க. அப்புறம் ஸ்லேவரியை ஒழிச்சாங்க. ஸோ அந்த பாதிப்பு இருந்தது. ராஜீவ் தரநாத் வாஸ் இங்கிலீஷ் ப்ரொஃபஸர், ஐ வாஸ் ஒன். அண்ட் தினமலர் கிருஷ்ணமூர்த்தி அண்ட் மீனாட்சி சுந்தரம் தேவர் வெரி மச் இன்வால்வ் இன் சோஷியல் காசஸ். அதனால் இது ஆரம்பித்தோம். அதுக்கப்புறம் லைஃப் மெம்பர் கொஞ்சம் 2 நாள் கழிச்சு தான், ஒரு 2 வருடம் கழிச்சு தான் ஆரம்பித்தோம். அப்பவும் கேட்பாங்க, இஸ் இட் ஃபார் த லைஃப் ஆஃப் த கவுன்சில் ஆர் இஸ் இட் ஃபார் மை லைஃப்? அவங்க எதிர்பார்ப்பு என்னென்னா, இது மாதிரி ஆரம்பிப்பாங்க, 2 வருஷத்தில் போயிடும் அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு கிண்டலாக கேட்பாங்க. அதெல்லாம் தாங்கிட்டு இல்லையா, வி வில் ட்ரை டு டூ இட் ஆஸ் மச் அஸ் பாசிபிள் சொல்லிட்டு ஆரம்பித்தோம். இப்போ 50 வருஷம் ஆயிடுச்சுங்கிற ஆச்சரியமாக இருக்குது. 50 வருஷம் நாங்கள் என்னென்ன பண்ணினோங்கிறத அங்கே போர்டில் ஒவ்வொரு பாக்ஸாக போட்டிருக்கோம். எந்த ஒரு வருஷம் கூட நாங்கள் தொங்கு தளரல் இல்லாமல் பணிபுரிந்து வருகிறோம். எங்களால் முடிந்த வரையில் அரசு கமிட்டியில் நான் நிறையா பணியாற்றின பிறகு தெரிஞ்சின்ற விஷயம் என்னென்னா, எந்த ஒரு விஷயமும் ஒரு ஆளால் பண்ண முடியும். இட்ஸ் எவ்ரிபடி இஸ் த காக் இன் த வீல். நான் சிட்டிசன் சார்ட்டர் கமிட்டியில் இருந்தேன், பப்ளிக் யூட்டிலிட்டி ரெகுலேஷன் கமிட்டியில் இருந்தேன். ஐ வென்ட் டு ஐஎஸ்ஓ, ஐ ரோட் ஐஎஸ்ஓ கைட்ஸ். இது எல்லாமே எஃபர்ட் ஆஃப் so many people. No single man can take credit for any of these things. அது மாதிரி எனக்கு வாய்ப்பு கிடச்சிது. அது மாதிரி பல முயற்சிகள் எடுத்தோம். இன்றைக்கி அதில் குறிப்பாக சொல்லணுன்னாக்கா, நாங்கள் சிந்தாமணி சூப்பர் மார்க்கெட்டில் எல்லோரும் டெபாசிட் போட்டுட்டு, சிந்தாமணி சூப்பர் மார்க்கெட்டை எங்கள்கிட்ட பணம் இல்லை, தர முடியாதுன்னு சொல்லிட்டான். அந்த எல்லாமே ரிட்டையர்டு பென்ஷனர்ஸ், ஒரு 1% எக்ஸ்ட்ரா தருவான் ரிட்டையர்டு. அதுக்கு ஆசைப்பட்டு போட்டாங்க. ரொம்ப அவஸ்தைப்பட்டு எங்கள் கவுன்சில் வாசலில் ஒரே கூட்டம், ஏதாவது பண்ணணுன்ட்டு. நாங்கள் கேஸ் போட்டோம். 26 பேர் தான் முதல்ல வந்தாங்க கேஸ் போடுறதுக்கு. போனோன்னே அப்போது திரு நேரு தான் அமைச்சர். அப்போது கேஸ் ஜெயிச்சோன்னா உடனே பணம் கொடுக்க சொல்லிட்டார். எல்லாருக்கும் பணம் பேப்பரில் வந்தோடனே 100 பேராக வந்தாங்க. கடைசியில் 497 பேர் எல்லாருக்கும். அதுக்கப்புறம் அப்பீல் போக ஆரம்பிச்சிட்டாங்க. கோஆபரேட்டிவ் சொசைட்டிக்கும் எங்களுக்கும் சம்மந்தம் இல்லை, அது சொசைட்டி, நாங்கள் கவர்மெண்ட்டு அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டாங்க. நல்ல வேளை நான் ரிஜிஸ்டாரை பார்ட்டியாக சேர்த்ததுனால அந்த கோஆபரேட்டிவ் சொசைட்டி ஆக்டில் இந்த ஜெனரல் மேனேஜர் TCWS சிந்தாமணி ஒரு ஃபோன் கால் 100 காலுக்கு மேலே போனால் கூட ரிஜிஸ்டார் அனுமதி வாங்கணும். ஸோ அது மாதிரி கண்ட்ரோல் இருந்தது. அதையெல்லாம் கோட் பண்ணி தேசிய கமிஷன் வரலையும் போனாங்க. ஜஸ்டிஸ் JD கபூர் என்றென்றைக்கும் நினைவுக்கு வரணும். அவர் ரிஜிஸ்டார் என்ன கொடுக்குறீங்களா, இல்லை ஆர்டர் போட்டோமா, கொடுக்குறீங்களா, ஜெயிலுக்கு அனுப்பிட்டோமா, இப்படியே பயமுறுத்தி nobody wanted to be registered at that time. You may remember Mr. Rameshwar Mishra, Mr. Leena Nair, they joined, went on leave immediately. And Mr. Kannan was registrar. அவர் நேஷ்னல் கமிஷன் நிற்கிறாரு. அப்புறம் ஒரு வழியாக சேர்ந்து 5 கோடி கடன் தரேன் அரசு சொசைட்டிக்கு அப்படின்னாங்க. அது இன்னி வரலையும் திருப்பி தரல, அது வேறு விஷயம். அந்த கடன் தந்தார். அதனால தான் அந்த சொசைட்டி பணம் எல்லாருக்கும் கொடுத்தாங்க. மொத்தமாக 3.2 கோடி எல்லாருக்கும் டிஸ்பர்ஸ் பண்ணோம். அப்புறம் இதில் எல்லாத்துலேயுமே டவுட்டிங் தாமஸஸ் இருப்பாங்கள்ல. சும்மா ஒரு கதை மாதிரி சொல்கிறேன். எங்கள் ஆஃபீஸில் உட்காந்துட்டு இருக்கோம், எல்லாம் ரிட்டையர்டு, பணம் வருமா வராதான்னு ஏங்கிட்டு இருக்காங்க. ஒருத்தர் சும்மா புஷ்பம் அது பண்ணுறாரு, அதெல்லாம் வராது, சிந்தாமணிகிட்ட பணமே இல்லை, இவரை நம்பாதீங்கன்னு ஓப்பனாக சொல்கிறாரு. அந்த கேட்டு இந்த பென்ஷனர் அப்படின்னாரு. எனக்கு பயமாக போச்சு. ஏன்னா எதிர்நீச்சல் படம் நினைவு இருக்கா, ஒரு இருமல் தாத்தா காமிப்பாங்க. நாகேஷ் அவரோட பென்ஷனை வாங்கி கொடுப்பாரு. நாகேஷ் எல்லாருக்கும் சர்வீஸ் பண்ணிகிட்ருப்பான். ஹீ வில் his duty is to get his pension every month. Just for fun sake, நாகேஷ் என்ன பண்ணுவார், தாத்தா கவர்மெண்டில் பென்ஷனை நிறுத்திட்டாங்களாம் அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு ஓடி போயிடுவான். அவ்வளோதான். அதுக்கப்புறம் இருமல் சத்தமே கேட்காது. பாலச்சந்தர் டைரக்ஷன், இருமல் சத்தமே அவர் அவ்வளோதான். ஹி எஸ்பயர்ட். அந்த ஷாக். ஏன்னா ஃபார் பென்ஷனர்ஸ் திஸ் பென்ஷன் அமௌண்ட் இஸ் a great security. அது போச்சுன்னொன்னே he stopped breathing. எனக்கு அது மாதிரி ஆகிடுமோன்னு கூட பயம் வந்துடுச்சு. ஏன்னா அவர் ஓன் மெம்பர் இஸ் சேயிங் லைக் திஸ். ரொம்ப கஷ்டப்பட்டு ஃபைட் பண்ணி நேஷனல் கப் வி ஃபாட் ஃபார் 6 years. வி காட் தம் ஆல். அண்ட் அதுக்கப்புறம் வி கண்டினியூட் அவர் ஃபைட். ஒரு 1.08 crores இன்ட்ரெஸ்ட்டும் வாங்கி கொடுத்தோம். about 497 பீப்புளுக்கு. அது ஒரு சி சுப்பிரமணியம்னு ஒரு டிஸ்ட்ரிக்ட் கன்சியூமர் டிஸ்பியூட் ரிட்ரஸல் ஃபாரம் பிரசிடெண்ட். அவர் எனக்கு ஒரு ஐடியா கொடுத்தாரு. நீ 497 கேசஸ் தனித்தனியாக போடு, காமனாக போடாத. நான் நினச்சேன் காமனாக போட்டாக்கா ஈஸி இல்லை. ஆஹா, தனித்தனியாக போடு. 497 கம்ப்ளைண்ட், 497 லெட்டர், 497 அஃபிடவிட் தீந்துருச்சு. அதுக்கு ஒரு அர்த்தம் இருந்தது. எப்படின்னா, அவர் ஆர்டர் பண்ணும்போது கம்ப்ளைனண்ட் 1 நாங்கள், எங்களுக்கு 250 ரூபா காம்பன்சேஷன். கம்ப்ளைனண்ட் 2 இந்த கன்சியூமர் டெபாசிட்டர், அவருக்கு 250 ரூபா. 497 500 கொடுத்தார். தட் வாஸ் அட்வைஸ். ஸோ வி காட் த மணி. Some of them donated something. So far the council என்னன்னா, we have not received any contribution or advertisement or donation from trade, commerce, industry, business. This is the bylaw of Consumer Association England. We just follow that. அதனால் இந்த பணமெல்லாம் ஹெல்ப் ஆகி somehow we were running a council in a very austere way. Mr. Nagaratnam knows. He was a cooperative auditor. So he was helping us how to tackle these cooperative societies. அது என்னாச்சு, sometimes it boomerangs. We thought we were smart in running the council with very little money, substituting paid work with voluntary work, and we managed with very low. But when I applied for a grant from HCL, Shiv Nadar, do you know what they said? If your balance sheet does not have a turnover of 1 crore, don't come to us. So we need to be big in order to attract more donations and more contributions from CSR. So luckily we are, அதுக்கப்புறம் வரேனா. So we grew. We did something, 3 important things at national level. Number 1 was, Pushpa Grimaji is here, she will be coming. Her flight was delayed. So he is 102. And Pushpa Grimaji will be there in the afternoon. நாங்கள் என்ன பண்ணோம், ஏர் ஹார்ன் சர்வே தான் எடுத்தோம். We had a sound level meter from BHCL, kept it in 7 places, recorded the noise decibel of Trichy buses. 105 போச்சுன்னா ரொம்ப டேமேஜிங். We published a report. The idea was to ban air horn, but it had its side effects. What shall I say? Beneficial other action. என்னன்னாக்கா, the batteries we used for sound level meter were going fat within 2 hours. They were supposed to last for 6 hours. BHCL gave it. So I changed shop, changed brand. No improvement. I went round and round changing battery cells. And then I found out what matters in battery cells is its freshness. I'm talking about 1986. There was no idea how fresh the battery dry cells were at that time. So I wrote, my survey was published, I mentioned this point. Pushpa Grimaji wrote in Indian Express, selling dead cells as dry cells. See, she highlighted this point. Some things happen. I always believe things happen. It's God's determination. One Ramakrishnan, MP Pune, we never knew, we had not heard of. He read that article, put a question in the parliament. H.K.L. Bhagat was Minister for Civil Supplies, 86. So he said, we must do something. We appointed a committee. And then they got in touch with me. I sent a report on the battery cells were produced in US, meant to be kept in 70-degree F. அங்கே இன்னும் F தான். It is manufactured in Union Carbide, Punjab, Delhi, Chennai, Trichy, Lalgudi. 4 months gone. The life of a battery dry cell is shelf life, 6 months. You keep it on the shelf, don't touch it. Within 6 months, it drains itself away. So I sent the report. I went to Karakudi, attended a seminar on battery cells. All these were put together, and they were wondering how to make it happen. Bhagat said, let us bring all the batteries under compulsory ISI. That means you've got to put the date of manufacture in it. They did it. So for the first time in India, date of manufacturing was printed. Come. We welcome Justice Muralidhar, retired Chief Justice of Orissa High Court, who has come all the way from Delhi to be with us today. So all the dead battery cells, dry cells, were forced to print date of manufacture on the cover. First time in India. This was the one. Second, there was no norm, speed norm fixed for superfast express. Railways can call any train superfast express anytime. No norms. So they announced that Ganga Kaveri, Nellai, Rockford, Pandian, and Choyan Express, super fast from June 1st. I worked out the time, no change. Those days, super fast expresses must have a library, vestibule, pantry car, and real speed. They had nothing. Railways thought they could do anything and get away with that. So we had several meetings in Trichy. We announced we shall stop the train on the Kaveri Bridge on June 1st. That was widely published. Those days, there was only radio. So 9 p.m. news on May 31st, they announced railways have withdrawn the move. Those trains will continue to be express trains. That we tasted blood. And then Madras India introduced a superfast train from Chennai to Dadar. Again, no speed norm. I distributed pamphlets in the train, being taken for a ride, first class fooling and all that. Within 45 days, he withdrew that. And then I worked out at all India level. I found Shimla, there is a Sialda, Shimla Express, they were doing 43 kilometers per hour, calling themselves superfast. I filed a case in Supreme Court. I must tell an anecdote. I came to know Murali in 1986, just before he became advocate on record. And then I was told he has become advocate on record. I did not really understand the meaning of what is advocate on record. You must pardon my ignorance at that time. So here is a man who is only an advocate for the purpose of the record. So I engaged R. Venkatramani, who is now Attorney General of India. He fought the case for us. For the first time in Supreme Court, Railways came and said, we shall fix the norm, 55 kilometers per hour. And then they removed 27 trains from the superfast list. Superfast, that means they have to pay superfast surcharge of 15 rupees for every travel in superfast express. So many lakhs of people saved those 15 rupees at that time mattered a lot. So many lakhs of people saved 15 rupees. And then after that, every time a superfast was in, railways were very careful to see that the speed doesn't go below 55 kmph. Now we are pushing it, must be raised to 70. That's another matter. But and then Pushpa Grimaji wrote a lot of articles on the superfast express. It drew the attention because she was writing in Indian Express, Tribune. She was a syndicated columnist. So it easily attracted the attention at Delhi. That helped us a lot. And 99, 37 rupees a minute Remember, some of you may remember STD booths. Right in front of our eyes, the meter will be running. So we'll be scared to speak in a public booth. Yes, yes, I have come. You call me back later. That's all. 37 rupees a minute STD call. And then very cunningly, cleverly, they said, one charge for Hyderabad, another for Delhi. As if the waves take a lot of time to get down. We stopped all that. And then technology came. It was reduced. But then, fax rate was fixed at 30 rupees a page. There was a provision for half a page fax, which many may not know. I was using that for 15 rupees. After the 37 rupees a minute to some 10 rupees or so, 9 rupees it was reduced. But fax rate was not reduced. I had to start a campaign just for that. First, such a small thing. We got to work very hard, write to ministers, and then do all those things. And then fax rate was reduced. We published our booklet, news magazine, fax machine on the cover. And later on, I happen to know Rajesh Pilot, through Mr. Manishankar Iyer. So I told him, you have a telephone advisory committee. We are the stakeholders. We must be there, not politicians. You have politicians, but also you must have us. It was news to him. The telephone advisory committee must consist of consumer organizations. So who should I appoint? So don't worry, I will give you a list. I gave a list in all the 32 states. They were all appointed members of telephone advisory committee at that time. That meant one was given a free phone, one can handle complaints, and the grievances would reach the general manager immediately. So that was that. So, and then I was on the Citizen Charter Committee. I went to England. I worked at, I visited PM's office, John Major. He was the one who introduced the Citizen Charter. Citizen Charter essentially meant it must display information about services. It must tell you how to complain. It must tell you what if things go wrong. These are essential information. For example, British Railways would say, for 90% of the services would be run. Why 2%? Fog, strike, that's a standard. And at the end of the year, they say, we have met the standard. And then, how to complain? You have a pouch inside the train, on the platform, and in some other place, you can easily complain. What if things go wrong? The standard is, all our trains will arrive within 10 minutes of the scheduled time. If they don't, 5% refund. How? Because every ticket is a gummed ticket. In the carriage, you will have a brochure. You take it, stick to a ticket, fold it, address is written on the reverse. So you don't have to prove that the train came late because they know, they have the record. You've got to write your address, post it there, or in any post office, post it. 5% will reach your home. 5% will reach your home. And telecom services. In Victoria Station, I was using the public telephone. My card got stuck. It was a 2-pound card. I had used about 60 cents, 60 pence. It got stuck. Then I complained. They asked me details. And they gave me another card free. So I have seen excellent. This is how consumers' right must be respected and it must be pursued. So with a greater vigor, we came and followed pushed the Citizen Charter. The government accepted our demand. But then one gentleman from post office spoiled the whole thing. He said everything is okay, but this what if clause should not be there. What if? Post office must reach the letters within 48 hours speed post. Supposing they don't, they remove that clause. After some time, we pushed, and now, even now, post offices, if a speed post letter reaches longer than the prescribed hours, later than the prescribed hours, you are entitled to double the refund. Do you know that? Because they don't advertise this. And I asked the Postmaster General here, why don't you put up a board? He said, sir, the negative things la venda, sir. See, they saw it as a negative. They like to be comfortable in a world of unaccountability. They don't want this to be because they called it negative. Even today, many people don't know that we are entitled to refund. We keep telling them. So this, under 90, I had a free trip to US. Since I was invited by US government in 88, and the government of India sent me in 90. 92, I earned a mileage. So I went, I was a member of the Central Consumer Protection Council in the Public Utility Regulation Committee. So I used the trip to study all the public utility regulatory commissions in US. I went to 5 states. And there I saw how it actually functions. Every public utility regulatory commission has a consumer's advocacy and, see, supposing AT&T and Bell, they want to revise the rates. They will publish, we want to revise the rates. Any objection? I said, I want to object. Give me a balance sheet. Give me a brochure. Give me why you are raising. I have a right to study all those material. And then I will apply. I will argue. I was present in one of those hearings. I will tell you. AT&T had a provision. If there's an emergency call, you can intervene, and that's free. A and B are talking. You can intervene, urgent call. I want to talk to B. You can intervene in any call, and that's free. AT&T wanted to charge $2 for the emergency calls. They applied. It was rejected. Because AT&T's version was, this provision is being misused. Lot of lovers, they utilize this and then they misuse the provision, emergency provision. So they want to take away the provision itself. So like the famous saying, you cannot throw baby with the bathwater. So the consumer advocates objected to that. It was dropped. Till today, they couldn't change it. Every such thing, you need stakeholders' consent. Stakeholders' hold on the product services was very strong. So I came back, gave a report to Government of India and the committee that accepted. We proposed one public utility regulatory commission for all utilities, providing for consumer complaints, providing for consumer, the same pattern. And then the committee of secretaries killed the idea. No, ours was Union Minister of Civil Supplies and Union Minister of Food and Consumer Affairs. They put up the proposal. It has got to be okayed by committee of secretaries of all the ministries. And then it goes to cabinet. They didn't want this because it demands accountability. And so they said, no, we will have our own commission. We will decide how we shall run our commission. Let not Minister of Consumer Affairs decide how we should run our commissions. So as a result, you had Electricity Regulatory Commission, Telephone Regulatory Commission, Insurance Commission. Several commissions were born after this. We were too small, too powerless to change things and insist on that. And now I don't know how useful they are. They keep functioning, but consumers' role is very limited. I don't get access to the electricity tariff raise, the reasons. I mean, of course, TNRC sends me, I was a member of some committee there. But I protest, I keep protesting. You should not raise the tariff for the following reasons and all that. But, it's all political. And they decide, they make huge losses. They want to make it up by raising the tariff. So Telecom Commission, they don't consult us at all. At least TNEB calls us. TNEB called us for a meeting in Trichy, Taj Mahal, Karur Bypass Road. whether they should raise the tariff. Mr. Kabilan was the chairman. I was asked to speak. The hall was full. I said, there is no need to raise the tariff because electricity was being misused by farmers. Now, farmer is a holy cow. You shouldn't talk about farmers. But I did. The hall had many of them. I said, they are given free power, but there's no accountability. I mean, electricity, EB doesn't know how much of power has been given. There's no meter. And then they are supposed to use 0.5 HP. They were using 10 HP, 15 HP. They were given, they supplied to draw water from underground water tables. They were using powerful motors. They were using old motors, 15 years, 20 years. They were power guzzlers. And then they took the water from the canal. Using this electricity, they put a tube in the canal, nearby canal, and sucking water. And worse still, they were taking water from the underground water table and selling it. Selling electricity is a crime, but they were doing it. You should know better. Superintendent Engineer, Metro, TNEB is sitting here. He is our EC member. So I was pressing government should fix at least meters. Let us know how much you lose. TNEB went armed with police and all that to fix meters in Tuticorin and other places. One of them was assaulted. The farmers never allowed them to come near them. Till today, TNEB has not succeeded in fixing meters for free power supply. As a result, we lose heavily. And they make it up by raising tariff. All this can be questioned in Electricity Commission if it properly functions. And then the so-called line and distribution loss is 6% in Germany, 4% in UK, about 3% in US. We have 17% in India. If you calculate it in megawatt, 17% of megawatt produced, it's a great amount. Into 10 or 14 rupees a unit, 6,000 rupees a megawatt, huge loss. Nothing is being done about that. So there are a lot of things we need to fight about. That we had this electricity commission. So a lot of work done for the next 50 years. So this was one, Public Utility Regulatory Commission at the national level, and then the FACTS, and then the superfast, and then this battery dry cells. At the local level and other things also, we have done a lot of things. I just gave you some highlights, and the entire this thing is being distributed here. Since the minister was in a hurry, I was not able to, my original role was to introduce the guest. So, before that, let me complete this summary. After that, we didn't stop with that. Someone used to tell me, sir, you were wearing half a trouser. That doesn't mean you must wear the half pant all through your life. Meaning, you should not be doing the same thing over and over again. So, Tamil Nadu government gave me the responsibility of producing a magazine for them. I did it for 2 years. And then I handled a consumer helpline for Tamil Nadu government. And then our dream project, Consumer Product Testing Laboratory, came into being in 23. It all started when I was in New York. I saw a small machine. You put it there. It shows you white gold, yellow gold, carat purity. It flashes on the board. We had no such thing here, but it cost me $800. So from then on, we wanted to start a laboratory here. I spent 7 years, or 10 years, in fact, chasing the government for a land for the laboratory. Rajaraman, Commissioner of Civil Supplies, recently said, government never says no. They kept my file for 10 years and did not say either yes or no, I didn't get it. And then they said, nowadays we don't give it to any private people, they categorize as private people. So, if it is corporation land, only corporation can give. Mr. Nehru in the last meeting said he would give us the land from corporation. I mean, even that means a lot of, I have to find the survey numbers, identify land, it's going on. And then this is a 4 crore project. My idea was to spend 2 crores on equipment, 1 crore on land and building, 1 crore on salary corpus. We started it, hoping it would come somehow. We started the lab on February the 12th of 2023. And there is no point in starting a lab and giving you results which are not going to be accepted, which will be disputed anyway. So we went for NABL accreditation, National Accreditation Bureau of Laboratories for Testing and Calibration. They came and sat for 2 days, assessed us thoroughly. We went through, we kept all those documents. And September 30th of 23, we were given NABL accreditation. That means our results are valid in any court of law. We have 2 MSc staff. And we now test milk, oil, water, plus gold purity. Gold can be tested only by 2 ways so far. ஒன்று உருக்கணும், இல்லை உரசணும். எங்கள் மிஷினில் வந்து இப்படி வச்சாலே போகிறோம். அந்த ரிப்போர்ட்டு கம்ப்யூட்டரில் வந்துடும். அந்த ரிப்போர்ட்டு இந்த நகைக்கு தானா அப்படின்னு கொஸ்டின் பண்ணுவாங்க. அதுக்காக அந்த நகையோட கலர் ஃபோட்டோவோட எம்பெடடாக ரிப்போர்ட் வரும். ஸோ one man who very often advertises himself and his shop in all the TVs, in all the newspapers, spends 2,600 crores on advertisement alone. So unless he sells low quality 14 karat gold as 24 karat, he cannot make this money. So I want people to come forward, have it tested, take the report and question them. We shall also be doing that. So I've got about 30 lakhs from CSR. Tamil Nadu government has sent a proposal. They may give another 38 lakhs. So with great difficulty, we registered for FCRA, Foreign Contributions Regulations Act. So I hope to get from CSR more funds for this one, and it will be in full swing. The one important aspect of this lab is we are going to have 22 sample collectors. That means from the lab, from villages, Trichy is very conveniently placed. 6 districts, Tanjavur, Perambulur, Ariyalur, Namakkal, Karur, and one more district are within 1 hour journey. Any place in India is 7 hours journey. Any place in Tamil Nadu is 7 hours journey to Trichy. We collect samples from rural areas, get it tested, give the results back to them. They will advertise it. That's our idea. These sample collectors will be paid to and fro lunch, honorary. So once we get enough funds, we will start this also. So that's our dream project that's in place now. It has got to expand. And now we got, the NABL came for another audit within another year to see whether we are doing it properly. That also we have been renewed, our accreditation has been renewed, and we are going for expansion of food items like beverages, tea, bakery, and other items we can test. So with that, most of the things that people commonly want to test, frequently want to test will be there. So that's our future goal. And let me introduce, let me read out the messages I have received before I go further. First message is from Mrs. Usha Ramanathan, a very optimistic person. Her message says, best wishes for the next half century. And then I have a message from Sitaram Dixit from CGSI Bombay, Consumer Guidance Society of India, Bombay. Their organization is older than us. Actually, we are the second organization to complete 50 years. But they are not very active. Bombay is a place of distances, run by women. It's very difficult to organize things there. So they have sent a message. My first article on consumerism was published by them in the magazine Kimat in 1974. He has sent that usual appreciating our effort and offering their support for all our future endeavors. And then I have a message from Dr. G. Sundaram. He was the former secretary of Union Minister of Consumer Affairs. He was the chairman of the chairman of the Committee on Public Utility Regulatory Commission. And while it was being discussed, he wrote in Economic Times on that. And he referred to my effort in shaping the report. He has again recollected that. That was published in Economic Times. He has again recollected and wishes all the best. And Mr. A.M. Swaminathan, he was Secretary, Food and Consumer Protection, Government of Tamil Nadu. He has written a very appreciative article in the Tamil Nadu Nuvoru Kavacham. I have enclosed it in the book as the last but one page. He has wished us, he wished the function all success. Now, Mr. Soren Singh, most of you would remember, he doesn't need any introduction. He has done so much for Trichy. That was very evident from the claps he received. One thing I myself was surprised. All of you, I checked with 2 or 3 people. How long did Mr. Soren Singh serve Trichy? Everybody said 2 years, sir. Unga solunga? 5 years, sir. 5 years. 2 years. Ennallama solranga. I was shocked to know he had served only for 8 months. That what the work he did for 8 months looked as if he has done great things for several years. I myself was very surprised. And one who walks through NSB Road, he cleared all those encroachments and made NSB Road bigger on my own. You don't need to worry about my travel, my boat. I know how lucky we are. Mr. Justice Swaminathan said the same thing. You be busy with the function, look after it, and I'll take care of myself. And Mr. Muralidhar went a step further. You know, nowadays tickets cost a lot. During Christmas in New York, he booked a ticket and modified it and said, I will do it for CPC. So that's a great gesture we very much appreciate. And Mr. Muralidhar. Mr. Muralidhar, I told you I have known him since 86. People who are in the habit of seeing internet and all that, one doesn't have to say much about him. When he was transferred from Delhi High Court, there were about 800 to 1,000 lawyers packed in the hall, jam-packed, to bid him farewell. Unprecedented. That showed the kind of respect he was held by the bar and the judges. And again, when he retired from Odisha High Court, there was a parade on the street by lawyers. This is also unprecedented. Should I say anything more than this to tell him who he is? And but still, he is going to speak on accountability. Why did I choose Justice Muralidhar? Not because I know him, he is a good friend. No. He set an example. He was the first one, or I suppose so, to declare his assets as a High Court judge. He put it in the public domain. Sir, have you seen any other judge doing it? He is a member of the District Consumer Commission, Tuticorin. He established number 2. He wanted to decolonize your mind. He wanted to take you away from the British legacy of milording. So, my lord in court is pronounced milord. So, and he has also told me this joke by his senior, Mr. G. Ramaswamy. The joke he cracked in 91, I remember that. So somebody told him, you must stop saying this milord to Mr. G. Ramaswamy. Then G. Ramaswamy said, sir, in that case, we have nothing to say. our argument will be over in 2 minutes. So you must have seen and heard judges, lawyers using it so very often. I am at a handicap. Say my party in person, it doesn't come to me easily. So other man says 10 millards, I struggle to pronounce 1 millard. He said, Justice Muralidharan said, no millarding. Call me sir. In Delhi High Court, in Punjab High Court, in Odisha High Court. Wherever he was High Court judge, Chief Justice also. And number 3, he has done several things. I could recollect only 3. He made justice accessible to everyone. How? You know the lawyers here, Bhaskar Gilla. Pradeep and others, they are young, brilliant lawyers. But they cannot go to High Court. They cannot, only the Madras lawyers practice in Madras High Court. Madurai lawyers practice in Madurai High Court. What about Trichy, Coimbatore, Salem lawyers? They may be brilliant. Given an opportunity, they will shine. But they are denied that. Because of the distance and the cost involved. He cut those 2 things out. In Odisha, he made every district lawyer a High Court lawyer. By providing a video conferencing facility. From every district in Odisha, one can argue before a High Court judge from his office, from his home. So every district lawyer can take up cases in High Court and become a High Court lawyer. This is where access to justice is established. And I still remember reading his article in souvenir, Silver Jubilee souvenir or something of Supreme Court, where very eminent intellectuals had contributed articles. And he is one of them. His article was titled, the book was titled, Supreme but Not Infallible. That book is still read and being offered. So that gives you an idea. And very often we see, you must pardon me, we hear people saying, how come this man became a Supreme Court judge? I don't want to name, you know. How come this man got into a High Court? Am I right or no? So, what is the system of appointing? There is Judicial Commission. And it is said that father and son duo, there are 5 or 6 pairs. And besides that, there is a lot of, after appointment also, the son appears before his father's friend, High Court judge. That judge's son appears before his father's friend in Supreme Court. This kind of, this thing is there. Have you seen? You have seen token being given where at? Hospital, Delhi Railway Junction. Have you seen token being given at a lawyer's chamber? You don't know. You don't know. A lawyer in Madras was giving token for his clients to see him. Obviously, people believed if you go to him, things will be done somehow. Okay. His father was Supreme Court judge. High Court judge was his friend. So that people came to this lawyer. He was issuing tokens. So what I say is confirmed. So when such things are happening, one question raised about Muralidhar is, OECT has not been being made Supreme Court judge. A lot of people expected him to be made a Supreme Court judge. They still keep asking, why was he not made a Supreme Court judge? There are several reasons, several things. We don't want to go into that. But that's a better way of ending a career as a judge than getting elevated to a Supreme Court. this kind of a question is rarely asked. Why is he not made a Supreme Court judge? So we are very happy we have him here with us to talk on accountability. And Justice G.R. Swaminathan, I learned that we knew each other even in 1986 and 87, and later in 1991. When he came to National College, Mr. R. Srinivasan introduced me to him. Then he told me, one vigil organization gave me an award, Panchajanyam Award, for best article on consumer. He was the one who was organizing that. So, so when I talked to him, you know, all of you must be reading his judgment. Innar Seidare Uruthila Nannayam Seidu. Even people who have abused him, who have called him in question in several YouTubes, he has been generous to them. Of course, he took action on defamation case and all went. But when it came to a point, he felt what was done to him was not right. He stood no prejudice. That man has abused him. No. He went by what is constitution, what is law. And such a man, very rare for us to get a judge like him. Daniel come to judgment. And we are all very lucky and privileged to have him here. He most willingly accepted to come. And he was here by 8:45. So that shows the kind of respect he has for us. And I have to introduce the other speakers also. Mr. Vivek Harinarayan was a brilliant IAS officer. He is a man who loved accountability. You know, generally in government jobs, one shirks. There's a lot of scope for shirking and creating a comfort zone. He was an IT minister. He was responsible for introducing IT in Tamil Nadu government. He quit it. Went to corporate sector where accountability is stronger. He was ready to face that. And he has made a great name for himself. He is a speaker on accountability in the executive, along with Mr. Soren Singh. And then Sudarshan Nachiyappan was a former minister. When he was not in my radar, Mr. Muralidhar suggested I should invite him. I learned later on, he's a very ideal person to talk on accountability. Has he come? His friends have come. I think they are in Ramya, sir. Sudarshan Nachiyappan. You must have come by now. Check with the Ramyas. And so we are a non-party, non-political organization. We welcome different views. So we have Sudarshan Nachiyappan, former Minister of State in United UPA government, United Progressive Alliance. And then we have Narayanan Tirupati, who is a popular figure now through Tamil television channel. He is always forthright in his comments, right or wrong. He will be forthright, very clear and articulate, and he has agreed to be with us. He will be here in the afternoon session. And then we have one more speaker, Mr. Selvaraj. He was ex-secretary of Madras Legislative Assembly. He knows the rule book. He knows the rights and duties of legislators. So we thought he is ideal for him to speak on this occasion. See, these are the list. I'm very happy. All the 9 people who have invited for the seminar have come and they are participating. Well, others cannot participate for reasons of their own. Mr. Sakarpani is unable to come because he developed a sore throat. So his PA talked to me in a very apologetic way. And then they knew about us. One never knows who knows about you, who doesn't know you and all that. I never bother about it. And his PA told me, when I was in National Commission, arguing for the supermarket case, Mr. Kannan, RCS, Registrar of Cooperative Societies, was standing. He was Sendamil Silvan, PA to Food Minister now. He was standing by his side, helping Mr. Kannan. So he knew me from that time onwards for about 30 years. And he was very sorry Mr. Sakarapani could not make it. A lot of things happen in an unexpected way. Sixth is the assembly address. Sixth is assembly begins. And the governor's address is on 6th. Sir, in Tamil Nadu, governor's address is most anticipated one. Not for its content, but the controversy it will create. Every time it creates a big controversy. And immediately on that evening, all the TV channels, the discussion point is governor's address. So, and our dear friend Mr. J. Radhakishan, Tsunami Man. People know him as Tsunami Man. One great thing about it is whenever I ring or anybody rings, he picks up the phone immediately and talks. So accessible. And he has been given the job of, governor's address is prepared by the government. And he has been given the charge of editing and shaping, removing controversial words. And so, they require permission of, he is additional chief secretary, but he still requires the permission of chief secretary to go out of town. So the chief secretary told him, we have governor's address. On 4th and 5th, you got to edit it. 4th, you edit it, you must get it ready by 5th. How can you go outside Chennai? So he sent us apologies, and he is always with us, very accessible. He has sent a good message, wishing us the function great success. So those 3 people are unable to come for the reasons I state. And again, I was in Delhi for 7 days. I told you that things happen. I went on 6th, 7th, 8th, I was supposed to meet Prahalad Joshi. I missed him by 1 hour. I was there, the PS didn't know something. I was given a forum appointment on Tuesday. But Tuesday, S.M. Krishna passed away. So Joshi went to Bangalore, came back on Wednesday night. I could meet him only on 10th. Mr. Shiva will be coming. He was the one who fixed Prahalad Joshi for us. You see, he is beyond all this petty politics. He has got a good rapport with all the members of all the parties. So he spoke to Prahalad Joshi, got his consent. And Joshi says, I will confirm it on 28th. He gave his consent. I put his name in the invitation after his permission. But then Nagesh Kumar, his personal secretary, he rang me up, say, he has been given a cabinet alert. There's likely to be a cabinet meeting. That means don't go outside Delhi. So there's sort of a whip for them. You know the whip for the legislators, 3-line whip. First line says, you must be in town. Second line says, you must be in the complex. Parliament complex has MLA. They can be in the MLA rooms or something. Third line says, you must be present in the assembly or parliament. If you are not, you lose your seat. That kind of 3-line whip. So similarly, there is a whip for cabinet ministers. So he is unable to come. He has sent his regrets. So otherwise, I'm very happy. I don't want this to be a list of felicitators and self-glorification. So I avoided all that. We want to do something useful, a good seminar with great eminent people. That has happened. To that extent, I'm very happy that we have made it happen. So with this introduction, peace and to the organizing committee and executive committee members, I request Mr. Subhashini to call out names. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Pushpanam sir, for the deeper insight. Our honorable guests on the dais have spent their valuable time to be with us. We would like to honor them with mementos.